Short story, Politics, The Compass in an Old Album. Politician Kang Suk was on a grueling campaign day after day ahead of the election. He raised his voice in televised debates, shouting for a bigger country, a stronger economy. However, when he returned home, he was always faced with an empty living room. His wife was cold, and his high school son had locked his door and refused even to speak. Kang Suk took out an old album from his study. There was a photograph his father had taken 30 years ago when he first ran for district council. It showed the whole family gathered around in the living room of a small villa, sharing a whole roasted chicken. At the time, his father had said this to Kang Suk. "Kang Suk, look at that forest of apartments over there. Do you think that is all the power of politics?
No.
It is only when the laughter of the head of the household spills out from every home in that forest that the nation truly does not collapse." At the time, Kang Suk thought those words were merely the ramblings of a poor old man. But now, he was realizing just how hollow the slogan "Strong Nation" held in his hand truly was. He had packaged himself as practicing politics for the people's livelihoods, yet the small nation that was his own home was already crumbling like a sandcastle. The next morning, Kang Suk canceled an important election strategy meeting. Instead, he sat in front of his son's door. Instead of knocking, he bought his son's favorite snack, placed it there, and spoke softly. "Dad has been so busy building sandcastles that I haven't been able to see the walls of your heart. I'm sorry." That evening, his son's door opened quietly. His son hadn't wanted a grand conversation. He simply wanted confirmation that his father cared about his life and that their family cherished one another. A few days later, Kang Suk took the podium at the campaign rally. Although the phrase 5% economic growth rate was written in his speech script, he took the microphone and remained silent for a moment. Then, instead of the manuscript, he took out an old photograph of his father. "Respected citizens, I have not come here today to discuss economic policy. I want to ask if your dining tables are safe and sound, and if you can smile as you think of your family's faces on your way home from work. A nation from which its people turn away is a castle built on sand. The first principle of our politics is none other than your happy families." The audience was initially puzzled, but soon began to listen to his sincere voice.
Kang Suk realized
what he had sought to protect was not a glamorous political position, but the foundation of family that would ultimately not crumble. That night, Kang Suk sat at the dining table with his family for the first time. Although television news reported that his approval ratings had dropped, he paid no heed. Instead, he smiled brightly as he placed side dishes on his son's rice bowl. He felt he understood now. The way to build a strong nation is not through grandiose slogans, but begins first and foremost by filling the walls of one's own home with flowers of laughter. That was the greatest essence of politics he had discovered, both as a politician and as a family man. Author's message: a nation is not the achievement of a politician, but a fortress built upon the accumulated laughter of its people. To do politics well means laying the bedrock of peace in the homes of the people.